How many holes does a straw have?
0. I would lean towards 0 because the actual material doesn't have any hole. The material like wraps around in a cylinder.
Okay, you are smarter than I thought.
Well, it's been a very fun week.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
My poor car got hit. I'm so sad because that's why
so
we had
sad.
to delay.
Yeah, that's why.
My car got just absolutely destroyed because some guy decided I didn't exist and made a left-hand turn in front of me. And then in the past week, he's been like ghosting his insurance and just like not talking to them at all, which has been super fun for me.
Do you think he is hoping that if he just ghosts, that all will be forgotten and forgiven? Like, what is the end game in his mind? Right?
I really don't know. I really do not know.
What actually happens? Like, if he actually ghosts.
So I asked about that on Friday, and I said, how long does he have until we say, you know what, dude, you've waited too long. You forfeit your right to like state your case.
Right.
And they said, well, he's got a couple days this week, the week that we're in recording, the week of the 8th, which is the 9th now. But anyway, or if we get the police report and he was found at fault in the police report, then we can just skip all of that. And we got the police report yesterday, and he got a ticket, and that means we can just go forward with things, and it makes me so happy.
Awesome. That's good. That's good.
But the fun thing is my hands have been a little tight, and so I'm actually going to see our mutual friend's father to look at it. So that'll be fun.
Your hands have been a little tight?
Yeah, I'll tell you more about it later, but
okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Your mutual friend's father is going to go take a look at your hands?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, stop skiing every day. Or do more stretching. That's what you need to do. Do more stretching, like stretch your wrist and then turn in this way, like all the way this way.
All the way around, right?
All the way around,
all the
like
way
this,
around,
like this, all the way around. All the way around. There you go. Yeah. And then do the other one. Do the other one as well too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'll just go through insurance and have them pay.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a fun last week and stuff of like, having to take a few days off because no car and like finally figuring out like a rental situation, and now like today we can move forward with like, okay, so now we know who's footing the bill for this.
Right, and you're going to go out and buy that Lamborghini you've always wanted. Heck yeah! Let's go with the Lambo.
No, there are only 2 cars currently in my like foreseeable future that I've been thinking about. If my car gets totaled, which I'm honestly hoping for, I would like either a 2021 Subaru Impreza Sport or a Tesla Model 3 with all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
you need all-wheel.
Unfortunately, that Tesla with all-wheel drive has got a decent-sized price tag, so I don't think that's happening.
Well, okay, but you and I talked about that price tag. How much cheaper is the Impreza Sport?
Almost half.
Really?
Yeah.
For an Impreza Sport?
Yep.
Brand new?
Mm-hmm.
I bought the wrong car. I like that. I like the Impreza Sport. I've always liked it.
Too.
It's just, no pun intended, but it is definitely a sporty looking car.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and I'm really hoping for it because it has some features that I really like.
Now,
oh man!
Now, is it like your car? Is it an Impreza Sport hybrid, or it's full on, catalytic converter?
Full on, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, that's the thing that kills me. It's the only thing where I'm like, I really want to get into like the hybrid or full electric and stuff like that. Yeah. But just again, we go back to price tags and just being like, maybe next time.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, that price tag, like, it works out in the long run, right? Like it helps out in the much wider view and like so much better like in the long run. But I get it. It's harder out of pocket for instantaneous, and your monthly would arguably be a lot bigger, a lot higher.
Yeah, that's really what it is it's that monthly, doubling that monthly payment. That's just like, oh no, we can't.
I don't know, when you bought your car, when you bought Saint, did your person, the finance person, even tell you, okay, so by the way, you have been approved and it's going to be X amount per month to pay for this car? Or did they just tell you, yeah, you're going to be approved, you're approved, like, oh, cool, and then they just moved on and like never talked about like what your monthly was, and you didn't find out until after you signed everything?
The monthly was definitely like at the forefront during everything. It was like, okay, if we add this, the monthly goes to that. If we do this, the monthly goes to this. Like,
oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't have that conversation. I kind of wish I did.
Yeah, no, our guys were very good about like, hey, we want to, that we want to push our extra features and stuff like that, right? But they were definitely like, every one of them, this is how it's going to affect the bill.
Yeah. Well, going back to while we're talking about this, I'm glad that you and your cousin are safe. Like, I'm glad that nothing like long-term happened to either of you. And that you were back on playing games with us the night after, if not the night of. Yeah. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. I'm just glad you guys are safe.
We're okay.
It's been a weird health kind of week. You got struck literally with a potential health concern, like you said. Your hands are kind of hurting. I had what I can only deduce as a potential, maybe, I don't know, minor, like very, 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 very small, minor heart attack. I really don't know. And I'm not trying to make light of it at all. I really don't know if it was a real thing or if it was just the power of suggestion. But whatever it is, I'm still here. I'm still taking my blood. I'm taking my blood pressure medication a lot more religiously now. And I've got this thing here. This is a at-home blood pressure monitoring kit. So I'm checking my blood pressure every single day. It's still high. It's still, of the concernicus level, if you will. But yeah, we just have to keep on keeping on. I don't know what else to say about it. Like,
I gotta say, I used concernicus in like an official, like a report during all this insurance stuff. I was a little concernicus about this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot.
I just said concernicus.
I was like, are you kidding me?
It's almost as bad as when I was in the middle of jobs way back in the day, and I told this headhunter, give me a call back in like a half an hour. I have to work out some things. He said, sure. So he calls me back in a half an hour. And I pick up the phone. What's up, bro? Like, not professional at all. Not hello, Mr. So-and-so or whatever. Like, what's up, bro? He's like, hey, not bad. Did you say bro? Nope. Nope.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not at all.
He
just rolled with the punches. Just rolled with the punches. And luckily, that job landed me with a position that introduced me to one of my bestest of friends. Now, I wanted to talk to you about something that has come up in the technosphere and the artosphere. There's many spheres that are out there. But the idea of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and crypto art. So just in a really quick nutshell, for those of you who don't know, these are pieces of art that are tied to the blockchain. You can make copies of them, but then by definition, they are copies vis-a-vis less worth whatever money that there is. So think of it like the Mona Lisa. There is one Mona Lisa, but you can go and get a really good $700 print of the Mona Lisa or a free copy of it when you just download it from Google or something like that. But there is one Mona Lisa that is worth millions. And that is kind of proliferated into the online art world with this online art. where you can do whatever you want. You can be like Logan Paul and have a screenshot of one frame of your video of you opening up a Pokemon card, and that frame, just that screenshot, goes for thousands of dollars through an NFT art auction house or a dealer of sorts. Quinnton and I, we've very much been into blockchain and cryptocurrency and things of that nature. And so this takes a little bit of a spin to that. And I want to ask you what your thoughts were on this whole kind of crypto craze of crypto art.
Well, I don't know about the whole Logan Paul with the screenshot thing, but I definitely like the idea of like a artist being able to have a single original piece of art, even though it's digital, and like be able to say this is the original, and if you want to buy the original, like that's going to cost you significantly more than the copy you copied off of the desktop of your friend's computer. Like that's awesome, because we're able to like get money back to the artists and stuff, and I like that idea. I don't know about like taking a screenshot of your stream and then selling that screenshot. That's a bit weird, honestly.
It's a bit much.
I'm not a big fan of that one, but in terms of like actual media of art and music and stuff like that, like that's awesome, because as far as I understand, they also like in future transactions, when that person eventually wants to sell it to someone else, that money still drip feeds back to commission back to the original artist. Again, they get like a good 10% off of the sale. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because somebody was saying like the thing that we've all been kind of like told is like all art is free, and it's like no. No, not all of it's free. Like, yes, there is some, and people are very generous with their time and skills, and sometimes we'll just do things just because they're bored or just want to have fun, but not all. And it's nice to be able to see like different ways that people can recapture that money and get money back to the artists. That's awesome.
No, I agree. I feel like this goes into a different conversation of how much does art actually cost, right? Why is a painting in the MoMA gallery, the Museum of Modern Art, it is a painting of a blue square. Why is that going for $60,000? Why? Well, it's because some people have deemed it to be valuable. And when you look at art online, there's so much art that you can look at for free from DeviantArt and like Instagram and Pinterest. And just by looking at the art, that alone is free. But this NFT resides in the idea of collectors, where they want to have that one of a kind, or they want to have that 1 out of 200 of these original prints are available, and anything else beyond that are just copies, and they are worthless. They have no value whatsoever. And so for people that like to be able to say, I now own a piece of Quinnton McKinnon art, I now own a piece of whatever, and nobody can take that away from you. I guess physically they could, but no, fundamentally they couldn't. That is something that is tied into this human instinct to be on top of the, on top of the world, to be one of the few to say, I have the Yeezys, or I have that Rolex watch that only 3 were made, or something like that. And I get it. I get that ideology of wanting to say, there's only 3 of those in the world. There's only 20 of those in the world, and I own one of them, and it is worth X amount of dollars. I completely understand that, because I was right there with like pop vinyls, or I used to collect stamps when I was younger, and I have seen and held many stamps that are very, very expensive because of the rarity. And it's that rarity that adds to the cost. But it's also, especially now that we live in the internet world, it's why I called it the craze. It is the craze that is leading to this. If nobody paid attention at all, even if Logan Paul put out those screenshots and he didn't tell anybody and no one paid attention, no one would buy it. But all it takes is one influencer, one really big artist like Beeples, for example, and it just boom, just out of nowhere.
Right. No, I think it's going to be a really good thing for artists to start seeing more money go back into their pockets, being able to sell originals and stuff like that. I'd be honestly curious if there's a way for them to kind of capture not even just originals, but like somewhere between originals and copies, like first editions, basically, of things, and be able to monetize like first editions. And then like I really want like them to be able to support still like DRM free stuff. Like I really don't want this to kind of loop back into that kind of situation where it's like, oh, everything is now tagged and stuff like that. I don't want that, but I feel like this could be really good if we don't let it just go crazy and start going into the whole DRM project and everything. Because then we're just allowing history to repeat itself at that point. But this feels a little bit different. This is really cool, honestly.
I mean, we had a comment on our Twitch chat as we are live on Twitch, twitch.tv/LazyTechTony, generally every other Monday, although today's a Tuesday. Not the pro. She actually is an artist on Twitch. She does emotes and other fun little things for other Twitch subscribers of hers. And as an artist, I asked her what she thought about this whole NFT thing. And she said, I feel like it's stretching and exploiting the concept. I agree, one of a kind moment, but I don't know. The idea of selling a pic of me using the toilet for the first time in my life to a gullible fan for like $10,000 sounds scummy. And that is the problem, right? That is the problem where we're seeing people like Logan Paul taking full advantage of his fan base and saying, hey, here's a screenshot, a thing that you could do on your own, but because I'm selling it and it's attached with this NFT, it's attached with this token, it has gone from $0 to $10,000. Or I'll give you half off, to $5,000 because I'm selling it and it's going to be one of a kind.
Yeah,
I
feel like that situation there kind of more like, I don't agree with it, but I feel like it's leaning more towards almost like a signed,
like a signed guitar.
Not even a signed guitar, but like if you had
like a signed napkin.
Picture, well, like a picture of Logan Paul in this situation, right? You have a picture of Logan Paul and you printed it yourself and on a nice, high quality printer or whatever. It's a nice photo, but it's worth really nothing. Like no one's going to pay you for that, right? But Logan Paul signs it himself and all of a sudden that value just skyrockets, right? And I feel like that's kind of leaning more into that of like Logan Paul signed off on this screenshot. Like he himself said, this is the screenshot and I am tagging this with this crypto thing where I can say like, this is the screenshot to have. And so all of a sudden it becomes an original, even though the actual object isn't really worth anything. It's the concept of ownership of saying, oh, Logan Paul said this is valuable. And so therefore it is valuable. Like it's dumb, but at the same time, like we've been doing this for a while with like signatures and other really weird stuff like a hair from Elvis and stuff like that,
right.
Where it's just, there's no, the object isn't really anything unique. I mean, the hair, yeah, it's kind of unique, but like signatures and stuff like that are a great example of this isn't special, but now all of a sudden it is. Oh, you have a Babe Ruth gift card, a Babe Ruth baseball card, and it was like a common card. It wasn't anything special, but Babe Ruth now signed it. Now all of a sudden it's worth like, thousands of dollars.
Sure.
So I feel like it's kind of leaning into that situation where you're saying, I got this from Logan Paul himself. I got this from so-and-so themselves, and I paid out the nose for it, and now it's valuable.
Yeah, and I actually agree with that analogy. The issue I have is just these individuals are obviously taking advantage to a degree. Like, yes, they take their own screenshot, and yes, they might even sign the back of the image when they physically mail it to you. And that's the other thing. Like, when you buy these NFTs, they're presented to you in a couple of different fashions. And the one that I saw from Beeple's was an actual USB powered picture frame that had the image that you got, and on the back of it, it said, 20 out of 200. Beeple signed it, and it was an image of it was called Bull Run. It was an image of a giant Bitcoin with a bull in front of it, and it was cool. Like it definitely was, and the case that it came in, the box that it came in, it was a whole thing. It was a whole event in its own. But again, I think that the issue is going back to the amount of time that it took for that artist to create that image initially compared to the amount of time it took Logan Paul to just to create that video. Sure, the editing of the video and whatnot took time, but just capping a screenshot, that I just don't see a one-to-one value in that. And that's where I find it to be. He's leaning, individuals like him are leaning into their fan base that will just buy almost anything. It's kind of like the whole Supreme thing that we've talked about. People will buy anything from Supreme if it says Supreme on it.
No, that's 100% the situation with Logan Paul. Is it's nothing, the object and stuff like that. There's nothing special there. It's almost even worse. It's like less than special. It's so ultra common, right?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely like not a great one, but it's kind of what we're starting to lean into, and I'm sure we'll see more of it, and hopefully just a little more refined of like, here's my we recorded a podcast, and here is the very first episode, the first screenshot of the first episode that actually was never released, and that's what we're selling, is a screenshot of us when we're first getting started and stuff, where it's like kind of something more special, but at the same time, like, you've seen these people doing the podcast for a long time. It's not incredibly special, but it's something a little more unique than maybe a screenshot from just the stream.
Now, you had mentioned other forms of art are going to get NFTs attached to them, like music. Have they done that yet, or they're still working on that?
As far as I know, there's a couple like EDM artists that have already started making a profit off of selling their music via this manner. One of them was saying that they've made like in this year doing that, they've made more than the last 10 years of touring, which
wow.
I don't know how true that statement was. I only heard it in passing, but if that's true, like, that's impressive.
That's very impressive, considering most artists make most of their money from touring.
Yeah. So no, that's the kind of stuff where it's like, okay, you're starting to put quite a bit of money back into artists' hands, because it's like, yeah, you can have a bazillion copies of this song. Like, it's super easy to make copies of an MP3, but do you want to say you own the original of
whatever, right?
Doomsday from Nero?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were able to have the gold master, right? I mean, that was back in the day, the actual record that all the other songs were copied from. That was called the gold master, if I'm not mistaken. And so if you were to own that and it was a famous song, like, that would set you back quite a few dinero. But it would be worth it from a collector's point of view. But for someone like myself, who, it's not that I don't see value in that, I just don't see value for me. Like, what am I going to do with it? Put it up on my wall?
Well, exactly. Why? That's why you collect different things. You collect pops. And what are you going to do with the pops? Like, you're exactly. Going to put up on the wall.
That's why I don't collect pops anymore. In fact, I am selling all of my pops. So go to pops.com/Tony, and that's where I'm selling all my pops.
Pops.com/Tony.
I don't know.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, you're gonna call out a full URL. You better call out the right one.
It's like facebook.com/marketplace/12ZF39. It's like, it's not a shareable link that I can just.
You're doing Facebook Marketplace. You are a brave soul.
I'm doing whatever. I
wish you all the best in Facebook Marketplace.
We've actually bought a couple of things from the Facebook Marketplace, at least up here in Vacaville, in Northern California. We have been slighted a few times when we people have said, yeah, we will come over and buy the thing or take the thing for free. And then they never show up. But we have yet to be scammed. For example, we took my daughter to the park yesterday so she could ride her new bike. It is a used bike, but it is a bike that she can fit on much better. And we bought that bike, and I say we, I mean Aurelia. Aurelia bought the bike for like $20. And I believe she got it through Facebook Marketplace because she refuses to use Craigslist, which I completely understand. She doesn't use like Sell It Up or any of the other websites or apps. So yeah, Facebook Marketplace has been phenomenal.
Is there like a local like Craigslist too?
I know Utah has one. I'm sure California has one as well too, but it just hasn't proliferated into the hearts and minds of my community. Most people have just relegated themselves to sucking it up and going on Facebook to do it.
Yeah, Utah's, I feel like the more I see it, is more in a semi unique situation where like there's a news channel here called KSL, and they have KSL classifieds, and it's been around for as long as I can remember, and like everyone uses it, and like KSL doesn't take profits from it. It's just kind of like a way of people getting together and like selling things. They just have the system there, and it's just been there forever.
Okay. I didn't realize it was from a news station, because you've talked about this before, and I just assumed it was some sort of like local, community.
No, it's a news station, but it's just, I don't know. It's just been around. Like when Facebook Marketplace was like, we're coming out with a marketplace, I'm like, oh, that's cute. We've already had one for a while.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, that's nice, but I don't even know, like, because they've got just like hundreds of thousands of listings, but I don't know, like it must be the ad revenue from when you go on there and you're looking at all the listings and there's ads all around it. That's got to be how they're making the revenue, because like they don't take anything from any of it.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It's got to be the ad revenue.
If they were to take that away, where would you go?
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't buy a lot of stuff from that. Like can't even remember the last time I bought anything from. I think the last time I bought something from KSL was a Rock Band controller.
I think I remember this. Yeah,
like years ago, but I can't remember anything else. I know Maddie has bought like an Adidas bag or something from it semi recently, but no, when I was saying like good luck on Facebook Marketplace, I was more referring to people like asking for too much, choosing beggars, as it were, right? You want $10 for this? How about $5? How about free? How about you just give it to me? Would you like to drop it off while you're at it?
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff.
We haven't had that at all. So like, for example, we bought this armoire, this chest of drawers. I think it has like 9 drawers, and we bought it from somebody in town. He was moving to Texas. This was before the whole Texas thing. He was moving to Texas with his wife. He was military. And we went to his house, and it's freaking huge. I'm like, oh, okay. Yes, we do want it. And thank you. And I looked at Aurelia. I'm like, how are we going to get this? Because we have cars. No, not a U-Haul. Cars. And he just looked over and says, well, how do you guys want to pick it up? And we're like, honestly, we're going to have to figure this out, and we can pick it up tomorrow. And he said, are you going to be home tomorrow? We both said, yeah, we're probably just going to go have to rent a U-Haul. And he goes, I'll drop it off for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
what a nice person.
He was, let me put it to you this way. He apparently had to pick up his father very, very far away. It's about 60 miles in the opposite direction to pick up his father and then come back to where we live to drop off the armoire. So he was a little bit later than he said he was. Don't care. Don't care at all. Take as much time as you want. Because when he
want to show up at midnight? Great.
Yeah. When he came to drop it off, it was like the easiest, drop off. We gave him the money. We gave him an extra tip. We're like, thank you so much. Like, here's $40 additional for you for your troubles. And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, I don't like your hat, because he had the red hat. Like, I don't, in my head, I'm like, I don't like your hat, but I like the cut of your jib for doing this. Thank you very much. So
I'm gonna guess someone's retired and bored.
He was like, a young guy.
If I were to guess that, I mean, still, if I were to guess, I mean, if I were retired and stuff, I wouldn't mind doing that. If you seem like nice people and stuff, and I was like just done with that whole life part of my life, yeah, sure, why not?
And then the other armoire that I picked up, I was the guy asking the seller, hey, I know you're asking $60 for this thing. Would you take 50? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, cool. I'll, now the weird thing for me was I asked her, do you want me to pay you via Venmo or do you want cash? And she said, either way is fine. I said, cool. Can I look at it before I pay you? She said, no, I need the payment first. And I was like, okay. And that, the look on your face was the same look that I got. It was like, wait, you just said that I could pay you when you just said that I could pay you in cash, which theoretically means that I would look at the thing first and then give you the cash. Or is this going to be one of those
default to cash?
Right. Is this going to be one of those weird drug dealers in the parking lot where I give you the cash first and then you turn around and pull out the big, whatever. But luckily, she literally lived around the corner, like one street over that way. And then B, it was new in box. It was something from IKEA that had never been opened. So she was also a very, very pleasant middle-aged woman with two little yappy type dogs. And yeah, it was, she said, I bought it for my son, but then when he moved out, we didn't need it anymore. And cool. So I took it off her hands and I typed in the name because it's one of those IKEA names that, just weird. And that thing is worth like $200 and I paid $50 for it. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no joke. That's nice.
So definitely Facebook Marketplace, I've been lucking out on that.
Little devil's advocate, she might have been thinking when you said, I want to see it, you wanted to like unbox it.
Possibly.
Now that you're saying it was like box still, like I could see if she was thinking like when you're like, can I see it before I pay for it? She might be thinking like you want to unbox it, make sure like everything's there. And she's like, no, it's still sealed. No, I'm not letting you just like take everything out. No.
Yeah.
I could kind of see maybe that's what she was thinking.
Well, I'm very proud of myself because I am not one to put furniture together all that well, but I did put this together all by myself with no help. Although the instructions clearly say you need two people to do this. I was like, no, I can do this all on my own. I'm a big boy now. I'm crawling in the thing to hold up one end with my head and to screw the other end. Like, yeah, it would be really nice to have Aurelia here.
Oh my word.
No wonder they say get two people.
Yeah, there's always a point like in those bigger furniture from like IKEA and stuff where like halfway through you're looking at the furniture and you're like, there's no way this is going to become a nice looking dresser. This is a cluster. There's no way this is going to end up looking nice. Like, there's got to be something wrong here. All of it's wrong. Like, oh my word, what have I gotten myself into? And you just gotta believe and just follow those instructions, man. You just gotta finish it up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they have made those instructions like Lego instructions. And yeah, if you skip a step because you're assuming, this is your fault. 100% your fault. Do not assume. Just because it looks like it goes there, The one thing that was a little bit irksome was that they're like, yeah, you have 7 of these screws and 8 of these screws. And, I'm not a handy guy. So the screws look the same.
Oh, no.
They look the
same.
You
didn't do the thing. You didn't check.
You know what? And they are, when they're pictured, they have the actual size. So you can actually put them next to the picture to measure, to make sure. And I think I did one of like, yeah, that's good. Just the quick,
oh, no.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So needless to say, I had to unscrew a couple of screws, put in the right screw, but it's fine. It's all worked out. We're all fine here. How are you?
There you go. No, I've kind of got the same experience with like seeing new instructions and stuff when I got that fancy Lego set for my birthday. It was my first like real Lego set in like, oh man, like 10 plus years. And they're like, there's a QR code on the front. I was like, oh, QR code. And it's like, oh, you can like pull it up on your phone or your tablet and stuff. I was like, oh, awesome. So I'm using my Surface to like look at it. And then the funny part was it had a photo of like actual size. I'm like, how does that? But I'm looking at it on my Surface.
On your computer, so and aspect ratio can be different.
Yeah.
I have a 3:2 aspect ratio.
How are you guaranteeing this is the correct size?
I've blown it up. Does that mean the correct size?
Yeah, and I was zoomed in too, so I'm like, no.
Now, did Lego take it one step farther and allow you to do like an augmented reality like kind of view of what it's supposed to look like?
If it has that, I'm not aware of it because I didn't really play around with their app. I just jumped into the PDF on the Surface, and
so you had to download an app. You couldn't just go to the website. Like when you scan the QR code.
I think it pulls you to the app. Yeah, I think it pulls you to the app, but
that's how they get you. You have to sign up for the app and give it all your information.
You don't have to sign up though. Like that's the one thing is you download the app
and
then
you don't, but you do.
Yep, they pulled your information as to the size and model of your phone. Yep, gotcha.
Yep,
you're defeated. You have given them all the information.
Told you, it's those lizard people. Watch out.
They just want to know what phone you have.
This episode is powered by Poddex. Poddex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out Poddex. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to poddex.com and type in coupon code. What's the code?
Still recording.
Yes, that's the code. Check out poddex.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here with a couple of questions from the pod deck. I don't know which deck that we used last time, but we're going to do the Would You Rather deck. These are icebreakers that you can use in podcasting, but also if you're a streamer and you have nothing else to talk about, pull out these decks. So go ahead, check out poddex.com, use promo code STILLRECORDING, you get 10% off. So again, it's poddex.com, and use promo code STILLRECORDING to get 10% off. Quinnton, question for you. Would you rather put ketchup or ranch dressing on everything you eat?
Probably ketchup. I feel like ranch would get so old so fast.
I feel like ketchup would get so old so fast. Ketchup's already old.
Ranch doesn't. No, you could. I feel like ketchup is an easier flavor to work with. Like you could. Okay, you're having ice cream and it's going to have ketchup on it. Okay, so you can figure out how to like either mask
Why
or
did you
like
go there.
I'm trying to think of the worst case scenario. But like it's sweet, right? So you can work with that, but it's got like a tang to it, so you can work with that. Whereas ranch is just ranch. No, but ranch I feel like on ice cream is going to be extremely hard to work with. Like just the flavor of it. It's just like, it's going to be hard to mask. It's going to be hard to like kind of make the whole sensation work. Whereas with ketchup, you can like kind of work it out.
Well, look,
like my grandfather used to put ketchup on ice cream.
Okay, well,
it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Hats off to you, Grandpa McKinnon. But I will say this. If you know that you're going to have to use ketchup or ranch, and that's all you can use, one or the other, then now you can cater what you're eating.
Right.
You can decide what you're going to want to eat. For example, if I had to use ranch, sorry, ice cream's out. I'm not going to eat ice cream anymore because I would never, ever put ranch on ice cream.
Right.
Right. Now this says eat. It doesn't say drink. I can still have milkshakes. Those are okay.
See, now you're pulling a card out of my deck.
I'm pulling out a card out of your deck. Yeah.
If I blend everything, I don't have to do any of this. If I liquefy all my foods, I will never have to deal with any of this.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if you if you can choose,
so you can like you can work with ketchup to like make it into other things. I mean, you add mayo, you've got fry sauce, you add like just there's a lot of things you could do with it to make it work for you. Whereas ranch is just like, as far as I know, there's ranch. I mean, you can add like chives to it and stuff like that, like make it a little fancy, but like okay, let's take an example more real world. Okay, you want to eat a protein bar because you've been working out. I feel like I would not want ranch anywhere near my protein bar. Ketchup, obviously not either, but like, again, I can make that work.
I would have a protein shake.
Gosh, go away. You can't.
This is your fault for teaching me to read between the lines.
You can't take a protein shake when on a hike with you. You're gonna like
I have a blend jet too.
Is that wireless or something?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. So you're gonna take like all the fixins on your hike to make.
No, it's already blended, and I can continue to blend it.
Even better. Someone's hiking up. It's a nice, quiet hike, and they hear this weird noise around the corner. So they keep hiking, and there's you with a freaking blender.
It's like
just
dude, it's like this. It's like this big. It's like this big.
I know. But still, imagine running into someone on a hike, and they've got like a whole array of items to mix.
I would say that is very pragmatic of you to not buy a store-bought shake. You're making it in Mother Nature. You're doing God's work.
I would just be at a loss for words. I'll be like, "Are you making a shake right now?" And you're like, "Yeah."
I would say, "Yes, I am. Would you like one?"
No. Oh, better yet, I'm sorry. I only have enough for one. Okay.
All right, here's a good one.
Okay.
Because you and I, we make a living off of our voice. And I mean that because not only because are we podcasters, but we are trainers in our day job. So people have to hear what we say.
So
but would you rather your voice sound like Elmo or Kermit the Frog?
I think Kermit. The Elmo has only one tone and it's like high pitched squeakiness, whereas Kermit like can get serious and like can have like a heart to heart. Yeah. He has the LOL factor, but like also he can get a little like deep.
Yeah, and he can get introspective as well too. And then I could also sing Rainbow Connection on a log with a banjo. And no one would look at me weird. Would you rather be able to record your thoughts or record your dreams?
Thoughts easily. Yep. The dreams would be fun and all and like be like entertaining for like a week or something. But thoughts I think would be really valuable because it's like you have those like really like what are they called? Like you have that epiphany moment.
Eureka moments.
Yeah, the eureka moments, but then you're falling asleep and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it would be nice to be able to like see all my thoughts in like an organized list, and like, well, even if it's disorganized, be able to organize it. So yeah, I would definitely lean towards thoughts.
You don't think that in your dreams and the abstract that you can look at it and like maybe it'll help you work out a situation or a problem, or maybe even have an epiphany or a eureka moment in your dreams? I personally think, although I don't put a lot of stock into dream therapy or like the meanings behind dreams or anything like that, I tend to look at dreams for not necessarily for what they are, but like they're just dreams. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. But if you had a dream of, I don't know, coming up with some sort of invention and you woke up like, oh my God, what invention was that? That could have saved the whales or whatever.
Yeah, I'd still lean towards thoughts.
Okay.
I think it'd be really good to be able to just have an organized, like, if I think of things, because I've tried to do that, of like, if I think of things that are interesting, I'll at least jot them down inside my phone, so like I can come back to it, and I can obviously, like 9 times out of 10 it's just gonna be garbage. Like I just look at it and I'm like, why did I even like bother writing it down? But like I've tried to kind of make that mantra. I'm really bad at it, but like it's something that I've been thinking about trying to do. Whereas dreams, like I've had dreams where like they've been, not impactful, I don't want to use that word, but like just meaningful, like they just meant something to me, like, oh, that was a nice dream, or oh, that was a scary dream, or oh, like sure, whatever. But like nothing has been ever like what to your example of, oh my gosh, I wish I could have remembered that would have been amazing. Like in memory I don't have any situations where I can remember that feeling of, well, crap.
Gotcha. All right, well,
do one more, because that last one was short. The last one.
Would you rather have a road trip with Donald Trump or O.J. Simpson?
I choose the gun. Next question.
There's no gun. Guns do not exist.
I am going to be run over by the car then.
Nope, you're invincible from car hits.
A road trip of 5 minutes then.
Road trip.
Taking him to.
That's not a road trip. The definition of a road trip is hours.
What is the definition of a road trip?
Damn it.
A journey made by car, bus, or etc. Yes, I want to take the bus. I want to take the bus. They could be on one end and I'll be on the other. No, by train. They could be on one end and I'll be on the other. Like, I know the knowledge that they are on the vehicle of which I am traveling on. That is it. You want to cheat on the first question? I'm going to cheat on this question.
All right.
One more.
All right. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and or listening. Again, we do this every other Monday and sometimes Tuesdays here on Twitch, twitch.tv/LazyTechTony. And also, you can follow us along on Instagram at Still Recording Podcast. As for our individual stuff, Quinnton, where can people find you?
On Instagram and Xbox at Firewall.
You guys find me those places under Lazy Tech Tony. As I mentioned earlier on, we are running a charity, so if you want to find out more about that, we'll be posting that into our Instagram TV stories on, well, of course, Instagram. We also have a Discord, so we can discuss all the topics in there as well too, and we will see you guys in the next one. Later.
Bye, guys.
Hi.